The good vibes are here. I'm wishing you all happiness, clarity, and freedom on this day. Reminder for you today that life is literally what you make it. Life is just what you make it. There is no good, there is no bad. There is no you should do this or you shouldn't do this, or if you do this, you are this kind of person. No. Life is literally what you make it. This experience can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, my experience can be whatever I want my experience to be. All you have to do is change your beliefs. Now, there's a catch, guys. There's a catch. This is not easy. Changing your beliefs is not easy because we grew up, we have lived entire lives believing a certain thing, believing that if you do this thing, you are this person. If you do this thing, you are this person. We have built our lives off of these beliefs and our identity, so it's not easy. But that brings me into the topic of this video, which is Mars, okay? What is Mars trying to tell you right now in life? What is Mars trying to tell you? For those of you who do not know, Mars is a planet that is in our sky, okay? That's in our solar system. It's a planet, and it happens to be the color red, okay? There's my little fun fact about Mars, okay? It's a planet in our sky that happens to be red. But a little bit more about Mars right now is that Mars is in the sign of Gemini, and it is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. If you do not know what this means, okay? When a planet is retrograde, when a planet is in retrograde motion, it is moving backwards, okay? It is moving the opposite direction of when it normally moves, or where the planets normally move, right? It is moving the other way, and this has to do with the geometry and the Earth and the sun and the motions, and it's kind of complicated, to be honest, but it's nature. It happens, okay? The planets move backwards, and the energy changes. So Mars retrograde in Gemini, passing over my Saturn at 21 degrees of Gemini, which is pretty intense, not gonna lie. But, let me know in the comments what kind of planets this is hitting in your chart. If you have any Gemini placements, let me know. All you Geminis out there, let me know. But if you have Gemini placements right now, you are probably going through some things in your life. You are probably experiencing lots of energies in your life because Mars is literally retrograde in Gemini. And this is going to be the longest Mars transit ever. It's going to last literally like 8 months. It's been there for a while, and I'm pretty sure like March 20 something is finally when Mars is going to enter the sign of Cancer. And boy, is that going to be a relief, okay? But what is Mars trying to tell you right now in life? What is Mars trying to teach you, okay? Mars is the planet of fire. It's the planet of action. It's the planet of willpower. It's the planet of I can, of I do. Okay, but at the same time, Mars is a malefic planet. Mars is a very difficult planet, okay? And especially if you were born during the day, okay? In Hellenistic astrology, if you have a day chart, right, born during the day, like myself, Mars is actually the more difficult malefic planet. Now, if you were born during night, Saturn is the more difficult malefic planet for you, okay? But if you're born during the day or night, it doesn't matter, okay? Day or night, Mars is still a malefic planet. It's still a difficult planet, right? So what is Mars trying to teach you? Mars is trying to teach you that there are no free passes in this world, in this society, in this culture, in this plane of existence. There are no free passes, guys. You see, Mars is also your willpower. It's your drive. It's your motivation, right? A lot of times we get motivated, we get too eager, we get very passionate, we really want something in this life. But oftentimes when we get this way, we realize that it's not what it seems. We can't have everything in this life. Nothing is handed to you. The point I'm trying to make is that nothing is handed to you in this universe. There are no free passes. Nothing is just handed to you, right? Sometimes things are handed to us, right? But things are not always just going to be handed to us, and we must realize this. This is what Mars, the energy of Mars, is teaching me in my life, right? We get so eager, we get so apprehensive, we get really motivated, we really want something in life. We have this drive, this passion within us. We really want this amount of money or this certain thing or this material thing. And oftentimes the universe is going to put up roadblocks and say, no, 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 you cannot have this, right? And that's been happening a lot in my life, right? I get my hopes up, I really look forward to something, and it's just shut down, right? Canceled, denied, you have been canceled, right? And I'm looking at astrology and I'm realizing Mars is retrograde over my Saturn, guys. This makes so much sense. And this is what Mars is trying to teach me, that there are no free passes in this universe. Nothing is going to be handed to you. And the lesson here is that we must put in the work. If you really want something in life, you must put in the energy. Supply and demand, it's what makes this world go round. If you want to consume and receive, you must put out. You must put out the energy, put in the energy. If you want to get something back in this life, nothing is handed to you. Okay, sometimes things are handed to us, right? And we inherit a ton of money from our parents or from our great-grandparents. You know, sometimes things are handed to us, right? And if that happens, that's meant to be, right? That's meant to be. But most of the time, you know, especially what I've noticed in life is that nothing is going to be handed to you. You are going to have to put in that work, put in that drive, feel that motivation, put in that energy, right? Have that passion, and then you can receive. Then you can be open to receive, right? This is a big lesson that Mars teaches me in my life, because sometimes I get too eager. Sometimes I'm human. Okay, I'm human on planet Earth, and I get too eager, and I really want all these things. And I try to get all these things, and then roadblock, canceled, denied. No, universe says no. You are going to actually have to put in more work if you really want this thing, all right? So that is one of the biggest lessons that Mars has been teaching me lately, with Mars going over my Saturn retrograde, okay, in my 4th house. But Mars is the ruler of my 2nd house, so it has to do with things, right, for me. If Mars is the ruler of your 10th house, maybe it has to do with your public life and your career. Maybe it has to do with that, right? It's all different for everyone. Comment down below, what is Mars the ruler? What house is Mars the ruler of in your chart, right? If you want to know what this is, you look at Aries and Scorpio, right? What house is Aries and Scorpio in your chart? And you can find that out. So, also, you know, what other types of things, what other lessons is Mars trying to teach us, right? Mars is the sign of motivation. Like I said, Mars is a sign of passion, of drive, of I'm going to work, I'm going to get this thing, I'm going to get excited about it, right? I have Mars natally in Sagittarius. So that's a very exciting placement for Mars. I feel this excitement, this passion of I want to do and I want to get this thing, this fiery masculine energy, right? And, you know, Mars is not just all bad, right? We have to look at the other side of Mars. What is Mars trying to teach us? That we can use Mars. We can use our motivation that is inherent within us. We can feel the motivation, feel the inspiration, feel the fire within us in life. And this is such an important part of life, because a lot of us go through life so dull, so stuck in the matrix, so stuck in our day-to-day routine. We haven't felt true passion in a long time, okay? Mars is also the planet of sex and reproduction. Now, I'm not going to get into that, but we know how that goes, okay? You feel the passion, you feel the fire, you feel the energy, right? This is what Mars is about. So Mars is trying to teach us that we can feel the excitement, feel the passion in your life for whatever it is. If you are passionate about meditation, like myself, if you are passionate about balance, finding balance in your life, about finding inner peace, this is what I'm passionate about, right? And I use that motivation and that passion with the Mars archetype, the Mars energy, Feel the motivation, feel the passion towards whatever it is in your life. It could literally be meditation. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It could be anything. For me, it's literally meditation. Like, I love to meditate. I love to be healthy. I love to find inner balance and inner peace. And this is where I put my energy in, right? This is where I put my energy in. This is where I feel, this is what makes me excited, right? So whatever it is in your life that you love, feel that motivation. Feel it within yourself. Set your intentions and decide to feel motivated. Feel the passion. Feel the excitement for life, right? This is Mars, and we can use this fiery excitement energy to get the things that we want. You see, we use this energy to get what we want in life. And Mars is there to tell us that you must put in this energy. It's not going to be just handed to you on a silver platter, right? It's not just going to be handed to you. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the hours, the 10 million trillion hours, okay? It never ends because numbers never end. You have to put in 10 trillion hours before you want to get that thing, okay? And what else about the planet Mars? What else is Mars trying to teach you in your life? What is Mars trying to tell us right now? What are you trying to tell us, okay? Lately, I've been looking at the night sky. You know, I see Mars in the night sky, and it's really amazing. It's red. You can see it. It's red. And then you look up, and you see the brightest star is Jupiter, because love always wins, and Jupiter is the best planet, right? No ifs, ands, or buts. Jupiter is the best planet, okay? But what is Mars trying to tell us? Mars is in the sign of Gemini. And if you don't know, Gemini is a Mercury sign. Gemini is the sign of little things. It's a sign of thinking. It's a sign of communication. It's a sign of going here and doing this thing and solving this math problem. It's a sign of Mercury, which is all about thinking, all about the left brain, right? It's a very analytical sign. It's an air sign. It has a lot to do with communication too. And, you know, communicating with other people. So Mars and Gemini can be a very tough energy when it comes to Mercury things, when it comes to communication, when it comes to thinking, right? We can get stuck in our minds and feel a lot of frustration, feel a lot of, you know, Mars, it's not just passion and excitement, it's also frustration and anger, right? This is Mars as well. It's fiery energy, it's frustration, it's anger, it's resentment, it's things that are not so pretty, right? So Mars and Gemini, we can feel a lot of frustration in our minds. We can feel a lot of frustration towards, you know, little things. Frustration is a big key word for Mars and Gemini, because oftentimes we get so frustrated when we get caught up in these little things, when we get caught up in these Mercury type things, thinking with the mind. We get so frustrated, right? We get so frustrated, but it's so important to watch what we say and watch the way that we treat other people. Okay, Mars and Gemini has a tendency to really get mad at other people, really get angry, really say things that we don't really mean, okay? So Mars and Gemini is trying to tell us that, it's trying to teach us that we must treat other people with love, right? Even if we have feelings towards somebody, we have these angers, these feelings of resentment towards somebody, you know, we must still treat them with love and respect, because it's square to Jupiter in Pisces right now, and Jupiter in Pisces is the side of you that is loving and respectful and caring towards other people. But Mars and Gemini wants to rip your head off sometimes, right? So we must remember that love is so important. We must treat each other with respect and love. Even if we want to rip each other's heads off sometimes, we must still send love to other people, send support to other people, help other people, no matter what, right? This is something that Mars is trying to teach us right now on this planet. Another thing that Mars is trying to teach us is that things take time, okay? This is the longest transit ever, Mars and Gemini. And it's going retrograde, which means it's going backwards. It's retracing its steps, right? It's going to take a lot of time until we can start moving forward in this area of our life. So Mars right now is trying to teach us that things take time. Things are going to be delayed. Things take a lot of time. You know, with retrograde planets, things take time. Things are going to be slow. Things are going to get frustrating. But we must always remember to enjoy the moment, right? When things seem really slow, we get our hopes up, but things are delayed. Things are taking longer than we want. We must look towards the bright side of life. Always look towards the bright side of life. You see, there's always something that is going right in your life. Yeah, there's always areas of life that are frustrating and that are difficult, right? With Mars, oftentimes. But we must continue to look at the bright side of life. There is always something going right in your life, even if so many things are going wrong, even if everything seems to be going wrong in your life. There is something that is going right, I guarantee it. If you are alive, there is something that is going right in your life. You just have to have the eyes to see it. Like I said in the beginning of this video, life is literally what you make it. You can look at the bright side. It doesn't all have to be difficult and frustrating and annoying, right? You can look at the bright side because there's always a bright side to life. The sun always comes up. It's not always just darkness. The sun's going to come up, and in fact, it's coming up right now, right? It's coming up right now. The sun is always going to come up. Always look at the bright side in life. Guys, this is the things that I feel like Mars is trying to teach us right now with Mars retrograde in Gemini. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really want to hear from you all. Okay, thank you all so much for choosing to watch this video and choosing to stay here till the end. That is very amazing. You are much appreciated. Shout out to you. Okay, big shout out to you. I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to the channel if you are new. I want you to comment down below. Okay, what house is Mars the ruler of in your chart? Okay, for me it's the 2nd house with Aries and the 9th house with Scorpio. So thank you all for being here. Go in the description, buy my crystals, Freedom Vibes crystals. Join my Patreon, link in the description. Donate to me as well, link in the description. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day, and I want you to make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.